My husband's.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. So, for those of you who are listening over on my YouTube channel, it is not a drill, okay? You are listening to the show. Today, we're going to combine the podcast with on my normal freestyle live stream so I can kill two birds with one stone, okay? And I'm going to have Alexis and Nicole in here first. And then once we get our feet wet and we get everything out we need to do, I'll do what I always do, which is invite everybody else. And if Alexis and Nicole want to stay, they're more than welcome to stay. I do not care. They know that I love them, so they can stay. But today we're doing a combined episode. So for those of you on the podcast, hi, welcome back. Um, we're going to talk about everything that has come out these last couple of
One
days.
day,
We're going to talk
one day we'll get through this without technical difficulties.
maybe. We're going to talk about Moxley and AEW's lawsuit. We're also going to talk about um, Liv Morgan's injury that happened on Raw, Goldberg returning, the tournament that is going down for the King and Queen of the Ring, the brackets that have all. Well, the men's bracket is the one who's busted the most, if we're being honest. The women's bracket is pretty solid at where we predicted it. Only one side of that bracket might be messed up for one of us, but my audio screwy. Okay, let me see. Let me adjust the audio. Okay. Can you guys hear me better now? Is it better? I can't even hear anything.
Can you guys hear me?
We got a
Yeah.
lawsuit with AEW brought up against AEW and John Moxley by someone who used to work there. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. Liv Morgan is injured
Did
and
you not
what
hear
that
me?
means for Evolution 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I completely
Yeah.
lost signal of all you guys. We had like really bad, severe storms over here, so my Wi-Fi went out for a second.
Oh.
Okay, I can hear you now, Tiff. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I didn't hear you before. But I heard when Nicole
Okay.
popped in. I heard that clear. I was like, okay. I was like, maybe I'm okay now. But I wanted to make sure I was all good. And I was like, if Nicole can hear me, then everybody should be able to hear me. Okay. So we're supposed to be talking about John Moxley, and we're going to be talking about um, Liv Morgan's injury. We'll talk about Goldberg. We'll talk about um, the tournament and the brackets. We're going to talk about NXT and Blake stuff, and we're just going to round this all out with that because there's not really a lot going on. We just have that going on at the current moment, so it is what it is. Um, Don is in the comments. Hello, Donnie. I'm gonna let you guys in a few minutes. I just want to make sure we get the podcast portion done and out the way. So please bear with us. Okay, so I did do a video on my page giving you guys some of the info for Moxley's lawsuit as well as AEW. They're both being sued in this lawsuit, and it is from a former employee of one of the companies that they hired to do their production. Okay. So let me just show you guys the lawsuit in itself. It is on Sports Illustrated's page, the takedown, and they pretty much give you a full breakdown of this entire lawsuit and everything that is in it, so that it's legible for you guys to read and understand what exactly is going on here. To sum it up in a nutshell, Moxley and um, AEW are being sued for negligence. They're being sued for civil assault. They're being sued for battery. They're being sued for pretty much everything they could cover under the umbrella of the lawsuit. This man's name is Christopher Dispenza, and he worked for BSG, which is a broadcast company that supplies workers to facilitate production. So whether they need microphones, handling the camera work and everything like that. Sometimes it's outsourced to a smaller company that likes to supply, and that keeps AEW from having to have that on the books in terms of a set of employees. So they just outsource it and hire a separate company to handle that portion of the job. With that being said, they had a spot. It was back in 2023 when Moxley was going up against Hangman Adam Page. It was in a cage match on Dynamite. And in this match, the spot was that he was supposed to take the screwdriver from the guy and then go in the ring and go after Hangman Adam Page. But Moxley decided to add a little sizzle to that and push the man on the floor. This has led to the reason why they're having the lawsuit. So, according to Dispenza and his team, the legal team, Dispenza has suffered some major um, injuries here. According to them, and according to the Sports Illustrated article, it says that they feel like that they have given him a varying degree of negligence. According to the lawsuit, they hold AEW and Moxley responsible for this. And they also feel as though this has led to the reason why he was demoted and then eventually let go from the broadcast service group, which is the place where he worked. He said after 2023, he did do some jobs for AEW, but after that, he was demoted in 2024 in December to a carpenter without any explanation within the company. Um, He alleges that he suffered a severe neck and shoulder injury as a result of being shoved to the ground unexpectedly by John Moxley. He says that he had to have cervical fusion surgery, shoulder surgery, and treatment for other unspecified injuries. Now, the other part of the lawsuit that's interesting, and then I'll let the ladies have their way with this one because I've already said how I felt. I'll just add if I need to add to it. Was the guy knew about the spot. He was well aware that Moxley was going to take the screwdriver from him, but he didn't know that he was going to be pushed. And I don't think that that was a part of the plan. Now, they essentially are suing him and saying that Moxley deviated from the script and he showed harm to Dispenza with intent to harm, or he, at a bare minimum, he had a complete disregard for whether harm was going to be the result of him shoving him. So essentially, is he had a lack of care for his wherewithal or his health. If he could have gotten injured, he didn't care about that. All he cared about was the spot, which in hindsight, given by the facts we've been presented with, that is actually very true. Okay. Now, here's where it kind of gets a little weird in the lawsuit. The lawsuit, according to Dispenza's side, says that Moxley has a history of disciplinary issues before the incident involving other people while under AEW's employ and the agency or contractual relationship. It also says that past disciplinary offenses by Moxley include a documented history of unpredictability as well as a lack of control by the defendant. AEW, all of which were known or should have known by now to the defendant AEW at the time of the result. But AEW contests this wholeheartedly. According to the sources that were provided by Sports Illustrated, they claim that they cannot, confirm on documents that this is true, but they can confirm unofficially that this is what the AEW sources are saying. They're saying that none of this is true. They said they have no knowledge of him having a disciplinary working relationship with anybody. They're saying that he does not have any history of disciplinary issues within the company. They say he's respected within the promotion by talent and management. And one of them referred to him as a locker room leader, and they completely flat out denied the false characterization of John Moxley in the lawsuit. The lawsuit has unspecified amount of money. As far as I know, it is more than $25,000. As far as I have been able to read, um, but this is the spot that happened back in May 10th of 2023. If y'all can see it on your screen here, this is the spot that they're having issues with. This is where the person got injured. So I'll leave it up to Alexis and Nicole. Since Nicole is muted, I'll go with Alexis first. You tell me what you think.
Okay. So first off, I want to say that people who think they know the law really need to at least fucking Google shit, honestly. Because y'all are real embarrassing to yourselves. Just because something happened in 2023 and now a lawsuit's being brought up in 2025, that means they were probably trying to get this going for a while. I don't believe what the guy said about Moxley being like a crazy person back there, because we've never, besides John's drinking problem, and that sounds really bad, but besides that, all we've heard is that he's a little weird, but you don't see him going around causing trouble. Like he does his job, he goes home, and then, he does whatever. It's none of our concern. But I don't like the fact that he went off script on this, because first off, that guy, he is not a wrestler. How many times have we seen it that people who were put in these positions, they were actually wrestlers working for AEW or WWE or TNA or whatever, and then they pop up in a couple of years and they do it as, sorry, that's my dog in the background, I can't shut him up today, or they, and then they pop up or something like that. I don't think Mox should have went off script. I think I understand the lawsuit that, the guy wants some compensation because he felt threatened, possibly, in a way. But I don't believe the other stuff, though. Like, I think he's looking for a lot. I think he's looking for a payday, which, knowing Tony, he'll probably pay him just for him to go away. And, I hope he feels better. But he had me until he started saying, like, basically Mox is a bully back there. Because you've never heard anybody saying that kind of stuff about him before.
Yeah,
That's honestly lost me out. I'm like, why are you adding to this stuff here?
I think that it unfortunately for Moxley, he has a history of having erratic behavior, and I think the lawyers are going to do this to paint a picture to ensure that their client gets what he's asking for. And unfortunately, he has a documented history of his poor behavior. I don't know if it's necessarily towards other people, but he does have a history of piss poor behavior in terms of his drinking and everything else. Now, I can't I can't give any context one way or another about how he performs in AEW because I just simply don't know. But it seems like the company is going to defend themselves and rally behind Moxley. However, I see this as a devil's advocate moment, and I'm sure when Nicole comes in, she'll say her piece. But that does fit into the criteria of the lawsuit. Like he did go off script. He did push him to the ground. Now, I don't think that he had to have cervical fusion and all that other kind of shit. I don't believe that. But I do think that he committed the offense that they're saying he did. He did it, and I believe he didn't have the intent to hurt him, but he did it without wherewithal if he could get hurt. And that falls within the guise of the lawsuit itself. So I don't know. I'm low key like, this is one, it's going to teach you how to set yourself up for success and not be focusing on stunts. When you're going to do a stunt, prepare for the stunt. You needed to have a wrestler in there dressed up like production with the screwdriver so he could take the bump. Why did you do this with the crew member? What is wrong with you?
That's the thing that I'm more concerned about is, like, this guy's not professionally trained to take bumps. The guy looks like maybe he weighs like 100 pounds soaking wet. He's shorter than Mox, and I don't like that, because even if Mox came up to him and said, "Hey, I'm going to do this," the guy could have braced for impact or something. But the fact that he went off script and did that shit, that I can understand why they're saying unsafe. But as for Moxley's, like, all the other stuff, and I'm not trying to defend him. I guess, like, devil's advocating myself, right? But
Yeah.
like, I mean, yeah, he has weird behavior. Like, yeah, he's talked about his alcoholism and stuff, but we've never heard anything coming out of that locker room, whether it's AEW or WWE. They just said he's a weird guy, but wrestlers are weird in general. So,
Facts. I mean,
there's that.
facts.
Never heard him, like, we never heard a story where it's like, oh yeah, Mox went crazy and he got into like a 6-person brawl at some bar last night and stabbed a guy and all that shit. Like, I mean, I've never heard of it. Honestly, I've never heard of him up like that. I don't know if Nicole might know something. I mean, I know he was wilder in his indie days, but he was also like a 20-year-old punk ass kid. And we all do stupid stuff when we're 20-year-old punk ass kids, okay? I'm looking at one of them. But I mean, I don't. That's the part that I smell bullshit on. Was the stunt? What he did stupid? Yes, and I say it to his face. But for the rest of this stuff, 2 and 2 ain't adding up to 4. If that makes sense.
No, I got you. Nicole, you want to give your 2 cents, or are you good?
I mean, do I believe he got hurt in some form or matter? Yes, I do. Do I think it's that deep? No. At the same time, this will be a lesson learned for AEW that they need to rein it in certain aspects, and not everyone should have the lay of the land like they do. Moxley is one of them. You need to tighten that shit up.
I agree.
Tighten that shit the fuck up, man. That is crazy.
But it's a simple fix. Like, you could
The
have just had a
way
guy.
he would, oh my god, I would not pay Moxley. I'm dead ass. I would low key not pay Moxley for the rest of the year.
Damn.
Because you got me fucked up.
Because they're gonna, if that lawsuit goes over, they're gonna. The smart thing to do is to settle.
And that's what I'm talking about.
The
They're going to settle, and that's going to be a lot of money. It's gonna settle.
It's gonna settle.
He don't care about going to trial. He wants to settle. They are going to spend. So I would have an aneurysm if I was Tony Khan. I stand by it. I would not pay him for the remainder of the year.
Well, even if they have insurance, that's still, Moxley shouldn't have done what he did. That guy was not ready.
It has nothing to do with insurance. It's just being like, you can't assume everyone has the same boundaries. Yes, they're in the business, but at the same time, it's not like he's a ref who knows how to take bumps. He was an actual working crew member.
Exactly.
He's not an extra, like, he's not a quote unquote bodyguard. He's not an extra. He was a working crew member. Them people in all black, that's a crew member. You are not part of the show.
Exactly.
The only one who kind of is in the show is the one that John Cena used to talk to all the time. and he's barely even in that. He's just he just like talks to him, and he does like his camera swirl shit, but it's nothing real crazy. So that's what I'm saying. Like they need to tighten that shit up. I would not pay that man for us a year.
Well, how many more times can we honestly say they need to tighten up over there before we've been saying that
And
for a
Renee
while.
asked, say something. I said, bitch, I'll cut your pay too.
I mean, to be fair, Alexis, this is Moxley's fault.
No, I'm not defending the man. I'm not defending him.
No,
at all.
I get what you're saying. You're like, well, they keep letting loose ends kind of mess them up in the end. It's just small stuff that they tripping over. Like, how many times are we gonna tell them, like, you gotta fix this, you gotta fix that? But like, I understand what you're saying, and you're right. But this time, Moxley caused a problem that didn't need to be caused, because that wasn't even in the plan to do. It was added by him because he's ad-libbing in the moment and he's not thinking. That's a problem. That means that you are reckless. It looks reckless, and therefore it is reckless. You have caused somebody injury. You have cost this company money because you're so busy working in this moment. You're not thinking about the consequences later. Now we're 2 years out, about to be 3, and you're about to cost them some money. It's going to be thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. They're going to pay him.
I think. Sorry, I was chewing nuts. That sounds real bad. He's gonna at least cost them $1 million. I'm telling you, it's gonna be either they give him $1 million or the cost amount to that.
And it's because like I said, like when you look at how they laid out the lawsuit, it says it's either intent to cause harm or you had a disregard of whether it would cause harm. And to be fair, he did. He didn't anticipate that this man would be harmed. Now, on top of that, he got demoted at the broadcasting service group, and he doesn't know why. Now, here's the part that I left out that you probably don't know that might add some context. When this man got injured, he talked to AEW. He had a conversation with them, but the conversation about the injuries never came up. It only talked about him potentially being hired full time to work for them, not work through the broadcast service group. This is why it led to later on down the line him being demoted to a carpenter in the broadcast service group, because he went over and above their heads to be hired by AEW. But they never had the conversation about his injuries ever.
So it's like when you get into a car accident and you said you're fine, and then like a month later you're like, oh, my fucking leg is broken. I just didn't realize it at the time.
I think that I'll tell you what I think happened. I think he probably got some bumps and bruises from the push. Okay. Because I mean, you get pushed to the ground, you're gonna scrape a knee, you're gonna bang it, because you're not expecting to be pushed to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So I think that happened. But I think what ended up happening is they had a conversation with him. He thought it would lead to something, and it didn't. And then when he got demoted, I think he really got to the point where he was just like, these motherfuckers trying to play me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. So he made sure that he was going to get what he deserved, especially now that it was put on television and everybody saw it. It'd be different if it happened backstage and the only people that witness it is AEW people, because they ain't gonna dry snitch on their fam, but they don't have to. Moxley did this shit on TV. So you can go back on the HBO archives right now and pull that shit up if they haven't uploaded and watch the goddamn match where he pushed the man. There is no arguing of whether it happened or not. It did. The point is, did he intend to it or was there negligence? That is it. Nicole is right. They're going to end up settling to get rid of it, because if they fight it, they're going to lose even more.
It was a dumb move, and I would just want to be like, why the fuck did you even do that? That would just be my thing, and it's just, Nicole, I have a question. Oh, she's on mute. Fuck, never mind.
No, you can ask me. I just had on mute since Tiff was talking.
The fuck is that? I just need to know, because you were probably watching him before I was when I was taking my hiatus from wrestling. Did you ever hear about Moxley getting in like any trouble or anything like that?
No, not necessarily.
Like he wasn't like going around and like causing problems and shit like
No,
that?
I mean he was like crazy, but like so a lot were those CCW guys, so it
Right, yeah.
wasn't like anything none of them else of them were like rattling on off doing.
True. I mean, I hope the guy gets a decent cut. I really do, because shit. But at the same time, this is why I wish we knew a lawyer. I would be asking him about this.
I think it's pretty cut and dry, honestly. I really do. Like I said, I think it would be different if we didn't see it, if it wasn't able to be seen. But it's on camera. It's documented. And it's all over social media now. Like I could go on Twitter right now and pull up like 5 different videos.
It was all over Instagram like the next day, kind of like when the lawsuit news broke. It was like on there that day. I think I saw like 6 wrestling profiles that were talking about it.
It's everywhere.
I just wish people use Google and understand how lawsuits can take a little longer. Like they can file it that time, but it does take a little longer for shit to start going on legally.
A lawsuit doesn't always, I don't understand why you believe that, because you looking at the lawsuit with Cassie and the situation with Diddy, it's been almost a year. Like they was in the works doing that with Diddy. Him getting arrested, that wasn't just, no, they found one thing. No, they had an investigation going into this fool. That's how they got him together. Same thing goes for Harvey Weinstein, Vince McMahon. These people that's in these positions right now, you think that they safe. They're not. There are cases pending against a lot of people. That's just how the world works. If you think that somebody just came up one day and started talking to the police, and then the next day they make an arrest, then you boo-boo the fool. You know damn well that they can't do that. They have to have probable cause. It is a process. The same thing happens with lawsuits. Lawsuits take time, because one, a lawyer has to believe they have the ability to file it. They will go to the person that they're going to file this against and say, hey, we can sit down and settle this out of court. We don't have to go to court. If they don't do that, they will go right ahead and put that shit public. Once it hit public, they can still settle. They can still put an offer on the table and settle. But it's all in how it's set up, and how the timing and how the attorneys decide to strategize and handle the case.
Y'all better be glad Nicole's not in charge of AEW, because, oof, Lord, you're suspended without pay for the rest of the year.
I mean, to be fair, I don't see nothing wrong with that. He has essentially marked himself as problematic, and then also cost AEW money that they didn't have to spend. Because you're not using your fucking head. And I understand you can be weird and be smart. Being weird is not an excuse.
This is true. I mean, I'm weird and you two put up with me, so
I don't think you're weird. I think you're eccentric, but I don't think you're weird.
Nice way of saying it. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So it is what it is. Tony's just settled out of court, and pay that man his money, and then make Moxley. I tell you what you should do. You need to be stripping Moxley of the championship. Fresh
How
start.
much is he suing that guy for? Or how much is the guy suing AEW and Mox for?
They say it's better than $25,000. They didn't say the exact amount, but it's more than $25,000.
Oh shit.
And they want all fees covered, medical fees, they want medical bills covered, they want lawyer fees, court fees covered by the defendants. They want all of that covered.
Can you play the clip again? Or will AEW come after us on that again?
They will mark the channel. They have striked me multiple times, so I don't play the clips. I can show you the picture of him shoving him.
Yeah, show me the picture.
That's about
I'll actually look up the clip. I got my laptop, so can you get the dog? Thank you. I'm happy that my husband's home. Love it. Watch it. I'll watch it again. Yeah. I'll watch how the guy lands and all that on my own. So
I mean, I saw it. It didn't look like he got injured, but again, what I see and what everybody else see and what actually happened are three different things. So
it's only one camera angle. So I'll check it.
For now, that's the only camera angle I saw, but I'm sure there's some fans that was taking video. They probably got video. I don't know, but this is the only camera angle that I remember. And that's what the shove looked like. And if you go on Twitter, you can find it. I think I put it in the channel over on Instagram. I think I did. So
I'll check it later.
Late? Yes, Kayla, you're late. We're about 30 minutes in. So I don't know what to tell you other than good luck and Godspeed, Moxley. Any whoosies? We're going to get into Liv Morgan. Now, unfortunately for Liv, she suffered an injury during her match that she was supposed to have with Kairi Sane. It was not of anybody's fault. It was a freak accident. Liv Morgan did put her arms out like she was supposed to land properly, but unfortunately her shoulder dislocated during the landing. She rolled out the ring and rolled all the way. I mean, she rolled completely out, away from the ring, away from everybody, and was holding her arm. The doctors came over to check on her, and then WWE cut to commercial in Netflix. And that's when they came back and told us that Liv has suffered a dislocated shoulder. Now, the time frame for a dislocated shoulder really depends on how severe the dislocation was. Her initial, the baseline for it is several weeks. It could be several weeks to months of recovery, but it really depends on how much Liv Morgan is injured. Now, a severe dislocated shoulder can be 12 weeks. Sometimes it could be a full 16 weeks for her to recover. That's at least 4 months out if we're doing 16 weeks. That means that she will miss not only Evolution, but she will also miss SummerSlam and potentially miss Clash at the Castle. And she could possibly miss whatever PLE they have in October. It's Perth. Crown Jewel Perth is what they have in October. So she can miss all of that. She can miss everything. Which is sad. I don't like when people get injured. I really hate when fans are online laughing and joking about it. At some point, your kayfabe, of this character has to stop and notice that that is a real person. And Liv is a real person. She got injured, and you should not be making fun of her. You should not be making posts glad that she got injured in a match, because you wouldn't want your favorite to get injured, and just wishing bodily harm on somebody is nasty work.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Did
gross.
you see what Rhea put out?
Yeah, because behind the scenes, they're all friends. And that's what people don't really understand. It makes me laugh because y'all be like some people be really mad. And I'm like, bro, behind the scenes, when they go backstage through that curtain, they be cheesing and laughing at the damn table, eating. They be having a good old time. You know what I'm saying? They don't really, they're not fighting like that. I would hope that her injury is minimal. I wish, like, if she misses Evolution, I would be okay with that. As long as she can get to Mania, to SummerSlam, I would be cool. For the sake of her story and how things go for her, I would be 1000% okay with her missing Evolution. I would hate that she would have to, but I would be okay with it. I don't know, was it Don who said he had a way to finagle it so it would work out? He said it's gonna kick this JD mess to an end. Yeah. But I'm mad she may miss the big events. She might. I'm hoping that it's not that bad of a dislocation, but there has been no info on her injury and how severe it might be. I guess they'll make the announcement, but I haven't seen it.
What were you gonna say, Nicole?
I saw something by Sean Ross Sapp. Keep losing this fucking game. That it's around 6 months.
Oh shit.
So she got it bad then.
Yeah, he said it was more severe. They said it's gonna require surgery now.
Oh,
He said something along that lines, like she's gonna require surgery now.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
That sucks.
See, man,
I don't like that. God damn.
Not old enough.
I'm really hoping that, because the way I know is, I see it, Liv is young. She's like, what? Not, is she in her 30s now or something like that?
Yeah, she's her early 30s.
Okay, so she'll bounce back, because Rhea had a dislocated shoulder. She came back quicker than we thought she was going to. So I'm really hoping on that. But that fucking sucks. And there's a difference before anybody without a brain cell says anything. I don't like Liv Morgan's character, but I got no problem with her, because all she does, again, she does her job and she goes home and gets high. So, I can't really hate a person on that, but it's that fucking sucks.
She's gonna be gone till like next year. She's gonna be out.
She'll be back. If that's the case, she'll be back by fucking Rumble then.
Well, hopefully. I hope so. Aaliyah said she saw one by Adrian Hernandez, and allegedly she had a complete separation and surgery.
That sucks.
That sucks. I don't like that. I'm so upset about that. I don't know what WWE is gonna do with those titles, but they're definitely gonna have to pivot and do exactly what they did with Jade and Bianca. Put Roxanne in as her tag team partner. Have her drop those titles to the Bellas. You keep shoehorning Roxanne in there, and you do it the way that you did with Rhea Ripley and her injury.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn Liv face when she comes back, and let that be the way that you go about it.
Okay. So I looked it up. Dislocated shoulder occurs when the upper arm bone, the humerus, is forced out of socket without the shoulder joint. It says it's common, blah, 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 blah. And surgery, for the surgery part, says surgery may be needed to repair torn ligaments or other soft tissues around the shoulder joint. Fuck.
It was a freak accident. It was nobody's fault. It's just unfortunately it was dumb bad luck for Liv Morgan.
But
I hate that for her, because Liv just got back from a shoulder injury not too long ago. And she was having a pretty decent run as one of the top heels in the women's division. She was doing pretty damn good. And then this happens in a one-off match. Now Triple H is going to have to pivot. If he does it the way I think he should, that pivot will work for him, and it'll work for the story, especially with Judgment Day and Finn trying to replace people in the Judgment Day.
And then if they do it, if you and me are on the right track here with each other, Liv is out, Judgment Day either continues dragging itself along or it implodes. Liv comes back. Either way, she's going to have, like, even if you try to make her a heel again, people are going to be behind her, especially, you know, if they do this thing with, like, Finn being the one who's, like, trying to destroy it and all that. And
when she come back, they going to have to make her, in my opinion, because she's not like Charlotte where people have this disdain for her. They love Liv whether she be a heel or a face. But the way that they're going to respond when that woman's music hits and she comes out there, they ain't going to have no choice but to have her be an anti-hero face type of character.
And you know what? Her and Roxanne could put on really good matches.
Yeah, for sure.
So that just feel better, Liv. Like, that sucks that it happened to you.
That's messed up. She's gonna be gone for a while, and I hate it.
Let me see actual recovery time here. Shoulder dislocation. My search history is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm
when you do this podcast, it can be.
It can be a little bit strange.
Okay.
Writing a story, and I'm like,
why is there still no women's matches? This is crazy.
Is it another 4-hour AEW show?
No, it's 2.5.
Oh, it's 2.5 today. Okay.
So I'm writing this story, and in the story, one of the main characters, her ACL, she rips her ACL and her MCL. So like, and you can ask Rika this. I spent like a whole 2 days looking up like ACL and MCL surgery, like recovery time, physical therapy, all that jazz. And I'm just like, man, my government official who keeps looking at my search history is gonna be really worried about me after a while.
Now she's trying to pull Italian Harding. They'll be like, this girl trying to take somebody's knee out.
Why is this girl keep getting busted up? She looked up busted ankle back in December. She's looking up ACL and MCL tears and not dislocated shoulder.
Facts.
But like, is she okay? Yeah, 12. Let's see. Recovery from shoulder dislocation surgery typically takes 3 to 6 months for a full return to activities, which some individuals needing up to a year to fully recover. Initial recovery, including regaining basic shoulder functions, usually take 12 to 16 months. Liv's age is on her side with this because she bounced back pretty quick from that last shoulder injury. Mm-hmm. So and I say this as someone who's hitting 40 in 2 months. She's got her age on her side, and Liv, I think she'll be back sooner than we all think, but I think she'll make sure she's completely healed again. So
yeah, I'm glad that they went on ahead and they're gonna have her have the surgery if she hasn't had it already, and the recovery process will start as soon as she's able to get it done. I just want her to be healthy and ready to roll. I hate when they get injured like that, especially in a freak accident like that. I really, really hate that. But good luck, Liv, and I hope you get well soon. All right, let's get to the part that actually sucks for another reason. So Goldberg returned, and he made it very clear that he's going after Gunter not at Night of Champions, but at Saturday Night Main Event, and it is for the World Heavyweight Championship. So I feel like Alexis is going to be going off a little bit. So I'm gonna let Nicole go first because her shit gonna be short. I can't go.
No, Alexa, I'm trying to get my laundry in. I'm multitasking, so Alexis, you can go first.
No, I mean, this has been hinted at us for months now. And as soon as I saw that first report and I told these two, I'm like, they are fucking going to pull this shit. And that's why I think they took the title off of Jay and put it back on Gunther. I also seen the reports that Jay is possibly injured. But we'll talk about our brackets, but if it fills into our brackets, I'm gonna be really super pissed about this. But I knew they were gonna do this because don't they have a Saudi show coming up soon?
Night of Champions is next weekend.
So I knew they were gonna pull this shit. And when I saw the fucking writing on the wall. I don't understand why this old man who, and if I was Asuka, I'd fucking go up to Goldberg and tell him about her, like tell him off. Like, especially what the shit he said about her a few years ago. I'm never gonna forget that. That's because Asuka.
I believe he apologized.
I don't give a shit.
I believe he apologized. I don't know for sure, but from what I remember seeing, he said that he was out of line and he did talk to Asuka and apologize. So
she a better woman than me, because I'd be telling him to go fuck himself in English and Japanese, okay, like repeatedly.
Well, fair enough.
I don't like this. I don't like this for multiple reasons. I'll make it short though, for podcasts and for y'all's sanity. I don't like this man. I've never liked this man. I think that he was, and a lot of people have said, especially guys back in the WCW locker room when people used to work for them, he was their answer to Stone Cold. Like, that was the only reason why Goldberg's the way he is. Y'all want to talk about Cena's 5 moves of doom? Goldberg has 3. It's a punch, a kick, and a jackhammer. Like, that's all this man can do. He is the most basic of basics. And I am not the biggest fan of what they did to Jay. I'm not like on Rikishi level. I'm mad that he's basically been offered up like the sacrificial goat, because this man, and I saw this girl say this on Instagram, and I wish I fucking wrote her name down. I was trying to send the video into the group chat. For some reason, Instagram was on some bullshit and wouldn't let me send it. But she has gone down. She said, Goldberg has said he can't get up in the mornings to walk. Let me remind you of something, okay? Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston has said that also, that they've had trouble getting up walking sometimes. But these guys have been wrestling since they were like 17, 18 years old. They did crazy shit, okay? Like, I'm going to be 40, like I said. That means Mox is going to be 41. And I think Eddie is 2-3 years older than me. So that shit kind of catches up to you. I woke up today, my back crack sounded like a fucking, what's that? The glow stick thing. I'm like, oh, that's a noise. Never heard that one before.
That's crazy.
not a good time. I got to get back on my DDP yoga. But basically what I'm trying to say is that this girl, and if I find it again, I'll try to send it. This girl was saying that Goldberg says he can't walk, he can't feel his arms, his back's jacked up, his knees are jacked up. You know who's also knees is jacked up? Stone Cold. But you don't see him coming out here trying to have matches going out of Blades of Glory. Uncle Steve just shows up drunk to WrestleMania and can't drive an ATV. That's fine.
Oh my God.
Look, that's in character for Stone Cold, okay? But it's like, it drives me mad. And this is my ADD kicking in. It drives me mad that they gave Jay this WrestleMania story and only to give it back to Gunther. And I don't really like Gunther as a wrestler. He's not my type of wrestler, like the way he does it. I know the whole European thing's different. He's not one of my guys, but whatever. He's doing what I always wanted to do as a kid. I have respect for him, right? So for them to drop back to Gunther, and because Goldberg wants to have one last match, even though he almost what was his last match? Like, really, when he was inside
Undertaker, that match with Undertaker, right? When he almost killed him.
Yeah. When he like busted his head on the fucking door coming out, and he damn near like paralyzed Undertaker because he dropped him really bad on his neck.
Yeah.
And then and because I saw a podcast interview with Taker when they were talking about it, and he said, I legit thought I was paralyzed, and when the doctor said I was okay, I was on the verge of kicking this man's ass. I would not want Undertaker coming after me when he's pissed. Like, that's one of the one guys, no matter, I mean, like Mark Calloway, no, but like Undertaker, I would.
Wait, didn't he wrestle Bobby Lashley?
I don't know. But this girl, I don't know.
I swear he went up against Lashley because that was when his son got pulled in there. It was Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley was his last match.
Why? I don't remember that, and that's no shame to Bobby Lashley. Bobby, it's because they put you with Goldberg.
That's 2021. 2021. That was their last match. Yep.
24, 25. This guy has been sitting on the sidelines for 4 fucking years, and now because he wants to have a retirement match, he wants to come back.
He can have that without the belt, and that's what I didn't like.
He wants that title, which makes no fucking because
they better not give it to him. They better not, because my thing is this: your ass has been gone. Okay, you came back and got another title. Okay, you came back and was Universal Champion. Like,
took that Bray Wyatt when Bray.
Like, I'm not trying to say. Look. I was one of the people that I liked Goldberg's character. I didn't know the backstage politics and what was going on with him and anything like that. All I saw was he was coming out there dominating. The one thing that I did like was how Triple H really dead ass took that man and was like, nah, I'm not fighting this motherfucker. I'll put a bounty on his head. Take him out. That was the coolest shit I had ever seen in a wrestling story. It legit was just the coolest thing. So like
H for a really long time.
Right? Like, and that was the only thing I knew. I knew about him in WCW days, but I didn't know that there was any animosity back there because I hadn't been privy to that. Like, oh my God, are you okay? You are soaking wet. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. Dry is drenched. It's thunderstorming outside here.
I told you it's real bad over here too. I thought I was gonna lose power.
It's bad. It's it's still coming down out there.
Yeah, we under severe thunderstorm warning until about 9:45.
We under severe thunderstorm warning until about 9:45. So we got about 15 more minutes, maybe 20 more minutes.
I was at my backyard. We've been getting torrential downpours for a month now. I can barely cut my grass.
It's been raining all week. No shade. I'm sorry, Alexis. I don't mean to cut you off. It's been raining all week, but I knew today was going to be a thunderstorm, and then tomorrow it's supposed to storm again. And it's supposed to be 90 degrees on Sunday. Anyways,
Ohio is Ohioing.
Right? It's Ohio, baby. Because it was just 50 degrees a few weeks ago. A bitch had to wear a coat outside while everybody else was walking around in flip-flops and shorts.
Tennessee, we were fucking wearing scuba masks, man, because it was raining so bad. It's like every day it was raining. And my backyard looks like a damn jungle right now, and I can't even go out and mow it because the grass is so wet. It's like the top layer is dry, but underneath it's like so wet. I have to sit there with my weed whacker and try to something done with it. But no, this like that was smart, but it's just like the fact that this man hasn't even been part of, like, all this happened was because of last year when they were in bad blood and Gunter shoved his kid, and this is just something they could have done and knocked it out of the way. I don't know. I don't like the fact that it's going for a title because I know what's going to happen. They're going to have Goldberg if God forbid, and I'm sorry if I put this out here in the universe and this happens, Goldberg wins Saturday Night Main Event, goes to Saudi, fights whoever in Saudi because they still think Yokozuna's alive over there.
No, they don't.
Yeah, dude, when they first went over there for Saudi, they had a list of people and Yokozuna was on it, and they had to explain to him that
they don't think that anymore, Alexis.
I don't know. I mean, they want to see. Look, they want to see Goldberg. Okay, like
They really
that.
don't.
I'm gonna.
If we be
I want to
honest,
keep to
they
myself what I
really
really
don't.
want
That's
to
why it's
say.
not happening at Saudi. It's happening in Atlanta.
I know, but here's the thing: I can't say what I really want to say because that will start a war crime, and I don't think we can handle that right now. But
That's
it's
crazy.
like, look, I see what they're gonna do, and then they're gonna have Jay. If rumor is true, and Jay Uso is the mystery person in the King of the Ring, and he wins, all this is going to be is for Jay to beat or to take the belt off of Goldberg, if Goldberg even wants that. But I mean, I'm pissed because when he came back, he basically, to me, and y'all have own opinions on it, but when they put Goldberg up against Bray Wyatt, that to me stunted Wyatt. They took that belt off of him. They had Goldberg do absolutely nothing with it. And who was the one who took it off of him? Drew?
Mm-mm.
It was Braun Strowman.
It was
Strowman.
Braun.
Okay. It was a big, big burly motherfucker who took that title off of him. But it's like, why? Why is it that he, of all fucking people, want to have a retirement match when he's been gone for 4 years, and the only people who still get a hard on for this man are people who weren't even possibly alive when he was even wrestling? Because I'll tell you this, if Mark came out of retirement and he's like, I want to have one more match, no, absolutely fucking not. Like Foley, bless his heart, he always teases that he's gonna do another match. Me and my husband are both like, do not do this. Don't be like Flair. Don't be dying in a fucking wrestling ring just to think because you have something to prove or because you want to be champion one more time. If you wanted to have a retirement match, have one 4 years ago. 4 years has passed. Wrestling has changed in those 4 years. And we're not even talking about the Vince thing. Wrestling's changed a lot in the last 4 or 5 years since 2020. And all of a sudden, you got a hair up your ass because you want a fucking retirement match and you want to kiss my fucking lily white ass, Goldberg. Like, fuck you. And you
Jesus
are and the
Christ.
only thing that makes me even more madder about this is that he is the one guy me and James E. Cornette can agree on, and that pisses me off even more. Like, fuck you for having me have the same opinion as James Cornette.
I mean, honestly, I agree with Cornette on some things, but he's a dick sometimes too. So two things can be right at the same time. Where Cornette has some truths that he tells, and he also likes to watch things that some people would say is quite odd, but whatever.
Well,
I just think
I just think it's funny that all these old WWE stars like Mark Henry and the Big Show and like guys who've worked there have I'm gonna even throw out Rikishi, the Godfather, Papa Shango, whatever the fuck you want to call him. These guys can go wherever they want. They are invited. They're like, hey, you guys want to show up for a night? Cool. Here's what we're gonna do. Like shit like that. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen Goldberg be invited to even a ZZW match.
it's mainly because he doesn't want to go. Goldberg's not a wrestler. He's not a wrestler guy. And I think that's where some people are making the mistake. You think that he should be a little bit the way that people talk about him or see him. Oh, well, he's obviously, one of the guys, he's respected. That doesn't mean that. That just means that some people have their way, is the way to put it. Is he the greatest guy? No. Obviously, there are some issues, personal issues with certain people, and he's affected and rubbed people the wrong way. And I understand that. At the same time, I can freely admit, and I was a Goldberg fan, he's not a wrestler. He's a guy he was a football player who happened to fall into wrestling. And there's a big, big difference there, especially during his time of coming in to wrestling. There's a big difference there. So, I mean, I don't want to see it because it impedes on what we're getting into right now or what could have been. And you're shoehorning him in here when he doesn't have to be there. And Monday, when he walked down the ramp, he could barely walk.
That's what that girl
He
was saying.
limping. He was limping. He was having trouble walking. He was sweating and hadn't moved or done anything. When I say he was like, sweating Jesus bullets, no, for real, it was buckets. He looked like somebody had took a bucket of water and dumped it on him before he came out there. It was insane. I'm like, why are you sweating so much? Are you high? What is happening?
And I've never seen anybody that high when they start fucking sweating. I know it could happen.
Oh, I have.
Never seen it. I know it could happen, but like I've never seen that.
Oh, it happened.
He was sweating buckets. And I'm like, what are you doing? What's happening here?
I'm sweating in this kitchen.
Are you
but I have the oven. But I have the oven on now.
That's high.
80 degrees outside.
Life.
I want dumplings.
I don't understand it. I don't really have an issue with him and Gunter having one off. I don't care about that. Like, have the match, whatever makes you happy. But I didn't feel like you had to drop the title to Gunter at this current moment. And this could have been outside of the title, in my opinion. And then you could have had Gunter and Jay revisited later on down the line, whether it be at SummerSlam or at Clash in Paris. It didn't matter to me. And I was just like, you cut Jey Uso off and didn't really give him a true title reign and let him have an actual rivalry outside of it, because you kept involving him in shit that was going on with Seth and everybody else. Everything is all intertwined with each other on Raw. I don't like that. Like, separate church and state. The champion needs to have his own thing. He should not be involved in what Sammy, CM Punk, and Roman got going on, especially coming off of Mania. Roman and CM Punk are the ones who Seth should be focusing on. Seth should not be Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank. You just got a lot of shit all intertwined here, and it's fucking with shit, and it's just making things. And while a lot of people are like, oh, well, y'all don't see the bigger picture, it's not about the bigger picture. It's about you having opportunities for other people, because now that you got this all mixed up together, you clearly have only seen for the last couple of weeks Sammy, Jay, Gunther's been brought in, Bronson Reed, Brian Breaker, Seth Rollins, CM Punk. John Cena's over there now because him and CM Punk about to go at it. And then you get to see, on occasion, we get a Pinner, we might get a Sheamus. You know what I'm saying? We get little stories after that. But at the top of the mountain, that's what you see. That's it. It's some iteration of that, some form of that. And it could have been done so much easier and so much better. It could have been done cleaner, and it didn't have to go to, oh, and I forgot about everybody's favorite LP. So you see him on occasion. LP. It's like Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So you just, it's all about how you finagle it, how you set it up. And while I understand Triple H has a plan, Mike Tyson said everybody have a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
You know, Nicole,
and at the rate you going, somebody gonna get punched in the mouth. Like,
remember,
they're not even trying to be funny.
You know, remember when Nicole said a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the new thing about the Vince trial and how Laurinaitis was basically turning his, like, you know, trying to save his own ass by squealing on Vince. And Nicole said that we are about to see some weird ass shit being going on TV just to keep our attention from paying attention to the trial. I really think she's right at this point.
I mean, that's true. But I mean, to be fair, like with everything that's going on.
And his mother-in-law's administration.
Right. Like, let me tell y'all something.
That woman got eat up. And made all my gray hair go away for a day seeing that video.
Her incompetence is baffling. It is baffling. You don't know basic shit. And I'm just like, y'all be wanting to be in government positions but don't have the credentials to do the work, and you don't even take the time to learn your job. What the fuck are you here for?
At least read a 10-step book. I
Thank
ordered
you.
for my new job. I'm like ordering a cannabis book.
Because she's the
Learn the
DEI
job.
hire. She's the
Like,
DEI.
what is child? Even DEI hires do some minimal research. She could not answer nothing.
Look,
That
here's
lady
all-
asked her questions about school, about the average student in a school. These are things that she should know, and you're not answering it. And you're over the education department. You lack the education to be there. How ironic. Like, what is happening?
I don't know.
I was like, you know what? It don't make no sense for y'all to do all the shit that y'all have done, say all the things that y'all have said about everybody else, and you get up there and you are the worst of the worst. Y'all don't have the education to be able to handle simple tasks like just passing a fucking law. You can't even do that.
So
You can't even do that.
because I got my associate's in information technology with a major in cyber defense, but I can't get a job at a help desk. So does that mean that I can still get a job even though, even though I don't have a bachelor's or a master's doing shit? Because, I mean, they're proving me that I can. I mean, they're fucking felon in charge.
I mean, the way I see it when you're applying for jobs is it's all about how you can finesse it. You just got to work the system. And sometimes it's going to take you, going through a few no's to get to a yes. But you got to finesse the system. Or you go online and do some research and figure out what you can do to make yourself look more profitable. Matter of fact, Alexis, now that you mention that, there's a lady's YouTube channel that I need to send you, which I will do that when we get off of here. She specializes in women in tech, especially in cybersecurity. I came across it today, but I have to find it. So when I find it, I will pull it up and I'll send you the link to it.
Grazie.
But to go back to that, there's also one more thing that I want to talk about before we get to the tournament. So some of y'all probably not going to like this conversation, but Hulk Hogan was in the news this week. And the reason why he was in the news was because they were on a podcast. And I don't know who this dude is.
I know who he is. I know who this little cum
Is he the
is.
one that was sleeping with his wife on the Gawker sex tape? Is that the dude?
That is Bubba the Love
Or is it
Sponge.
somebody else?
Let me explain something to y'all. Bubba the Love Sponge is the scourge of Tampa Bay radio, okay? This little fucker got his start on 90... Oh, okay. little Florida history
relax.
left.
Breathe.
Ooh.
Before you go.
He got his start on 93.3 FLZ when it was called the Power Pig. This was back in the 90s when shock jocks reigned supreme. Okay, he worked the night show, and for some reason, everybody kissed his ass for 30 some odd years, saying, "Oh, you're so good, you're so good." Got hit. Then he went to 98 Rock, which was like the rock station we had. I'm from Florida, so I'm from Tampa. I'm from that area he was in. Okay, he did some shit. He killed a pig live on air during his 98 Rock morning show. Got fired. This whole big, look it up. You can look it up. I won't get into it too much here, but you can look it up. And he basically was bounced around. He ended up on 102.5 The Bone. It turned into a FM talk station. It used to be a classic rock station. And then I started feeling old because it started playing Nirvana and Alice in Chains one day. And I'm like, what the wait a minute. No. So they turned into a FM and they hired him for the morning show. And it was the same shit that he had been doing for all these years. He's a horrible radio personality. Horrible. I mean, I'm not saying I'm the best podcaster in the world, but like he played like 5-second clips and then he'd pause it to promote himself. Then he'd do it again, and he would just keep doing it. He, my roller derby team actually called in there trying to spread the word. Called us a bunch of the D word that you don't call women. So then one of his old guys who used to work for him, his name was Cowhead. I don't know how radio DJs pick their names. I really don't know. Whatever. So
Cowhead is wild.
So he had a show on in the afternoons, and it became really popular. And I didn't really like him per se, but he was funny at some points. And he was, they had like this game called Sporkle that they used to play. And I mean, he was entertaining to listen to, especially when you're trying to drive home and you're stuck in traffic. He was the afternoon guy, or like the late afternoon guy. And he got real popular. So 1025 was like, hey, there was some falling out with Bubba and his contract, and they gave him the heave-ho and they put Cowhead on. Now he's like on satellite radio or some shit, but he was going off about Cowhead and the guys who worked on the show, and the girl who worked on the show, she was a fucking ditz, but he was saying some real off-the-wall shit about her. And he called him. You can find this if you look it up, type in Bubba Love Sponge and Cowhead, and you can find the clip. And Cowhead actually calls into Bubba's satellite radio show, and they get into a fucking argument. Like, it is a real argument, and it's just like it's bad. And a lot of people down there don't like him, because to me right now he's like that grody 50-year-old man who still goes to nightclubs and hits on the 20-something-year-old women. And somehow he's having a lot of legal issues right now, which I know you're not supposed to pray for someone's downfall, but I am enjoying this downfall so much. And he's always had Hogan on his show. Him and Hogan were like buddy. When like they had dead air and they had nothing to do or promote, he would just call Hogan and talk to him and like be asking him about like all the old, like he was basically a kiss ass. Like they were friends, but he was also sucking Hogan's dick. And that's why he got onto like TNA when Hogan and Bischoff became a thing over there. And Awesome Kong, the queen she is, put that motherfucker in his place, because he was saying some shit about her. She talks about it in interviews. She explains it better than I ever will. So I would recommend going to check that out. And he's just a fucking God. This is how I say about the Paul brothers. Their general audience, when they first started, have all grown up and moved on. And the only ones that have stuck around are the ones who are still stuck at that level of immaturity.
Fair.
So I could say a lot worse, but I'm trying to be more classier than him, which I know I'm always going to be more classier than him. So yay me. But like, he is such, and him and Hogan, I thought, had a falling out after that whole Gawker thing happened. So I don't even know why. First place, I thought they weren't friends anymore.
I don't know what he was doing, but he was on a show. It looked like it was a radio show or podcast, and he reported that Hogan's on his deathbed. Like they've called the family in and blah, blah, blah. But TMZ was like, no, that's not true. It turns out that Hogan just had like neck surgery and some other type of surgery.
I heard
He's not dying.
It was like back surgery.
Yeah, it was something. From what I saw, it was neck surgery on one report, and it was back surgery on another. It was multiple reports that he was having some type of surgery. That's all that I saw. And then I was just like, okay. If he was dead or on his deathbed, there was nothing that I could do. I'm not gonna pray for something that when that prayer ain't gonna go nowhere. So I just be like, good luck and Godspeed on that one. As far as his surgery, same thing. Good luck and Godspeed on that. I don't know anything else. But yeah, that hoax is out there. They have debunked it. I don't know if they took that clip down, but that clip was circulating around for a while. So it is what it is. I know Nicole don't care. She always say fuck Hogan every time we talk about it.
I don't give a shit.
She don't care. She don't care.
It's
So let's get into the tournament.
That shit is none of my business.
honestly,
Okay.
look up the clips because he's not worth spending any more time on. And you'll hear what Awesome Kong did to him, and she's a fucking queen because she a lot better than me.
So let's get to the tournament for Night of Champions. Night of Champions is next Saturday. Currently, there is a few matches on the card. The finals for the
This in Saudi,
King and
right?
Queen. Yeah. The finals for the King and Queen of the Ring tournament are gonna happen at Night of Champions. This is a Saudi show. That means the show is gonna be at 1 p.m. Okay, remember that, because some of y'all be getting mad when y'all be missing shit. It's at 1 p.m. on a Saturday. Now, this is the bracket for Night of Champions on the men's side. And I want y'all to look at this very carefully because all four of these men competed in Survivor Series inside of War Games on the same team. The same night that CM Punk returned. That was your War Games team.
Mm-hmm.
And now all four of these men are fighting each other in the tournament. So Sami Zayn is going to face off against Randy Orton Friday. And Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso will face off against each other on Monday.
For Mr. Iguana, just to be a fucking wild card.
Well,
I was really
sorry.
My bracket all got fucked up, so
I gave up. I don't fucking care no more.
Every time we do a King of the Ring bracket, one of us gets fucked over. But this year, we all got fucked over, ladies and gents.
In the men's bracket, for sure.
That woman's one, I was tired. I was like, you know
the
what?
The women's one ain't that bad.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
It's
Don't
bad.
listen to her. It's not that bad. It's really not.
No.
So I mean, Sami and Orton. I'm still gonna go with Sami. I think Sami's gonna make it to the finals.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the Saudi card. We know why.
Yeah.
Randy Randy doesn't deserve it, but Randy's just there doing side quests at this point.
Randy's fine. He's waiting for Nick Aldis. He's waiting on Nick Aldis. I know they're gonna have them fight.
And I saw a report. This was from Sportskeeda. So again, take this with a grain of salt because even though it's from sports, sometimes they put that shit out there to kind of mess with us, right? That something's going to happen on SmackDown where Nick gets temporarily replaced by another GM because of a issue that could arise. So
as long as they don't put fuck ass Kiana in as the general manager, I don't care what they do.
They do that, I'm never gonna hit shit from Rico.
Oh, they're gonna do it.
I hate it.
But we get Aldis versus Orton, so or at least we're gonna get something out of it.
Yeah.
They're really taking their time with that shit.
Ain't they though?
Like
Jesus. Just put the shit out there. Come on. Now I think I don't know between Rhodes and Jey Uso. Honestly, it could go either way. But I really want Sami to win. Even if Sami advances, I feel like Sami should be the winner going into SummerSlam. Giving it to Rhodes and Jey Uso to me is unnecessary. Neither one of them need to win it right now.
It's gonna go to Sami needs to win it because I hate to say it, with everything going on right now in that area.
I mean, even outside of that, like just looking at the bracket, these three men do not need Night of Champions and King and Queen of the Ring to advance anywhere. But Sami does. Especially Cody. He don't need it.
Because who are these guys?
Don't he got that big ass crown jewel shit?
Yes. Yes.
He's
Yeah.
one of like 4 people to beat Gunther.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So let's move on from the dudes. Let's go to the women, ladies, the goyles. The bracket for the girls is not that bad. It really isn't.
I'm
The
still
only
mad.
one Nicole got wrong was Charlotte. That was the only one she got wrong. She did pick Asuka for the Fatal 4-Way for the girls. She picked Jade for the women on SmackDown, and she picked Roxanne for the top. I picked Bliss the first time this bracket came up. So mine is solid. The only one she got busted is on the SmackDown side.
I'm so
Bliss.
fucking
That's the
mad.
only one. She
Then I think I picked Roxanne. I know I picked Nia because y'all were like, whoa.
Yeah, you did pick Nia.
And then I think I picked. Did I pick Bliss? I think I did.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I think I picked like Bliss or Chelsea to win. Not sure.
I want to say you was stuck between Chelsea and Bliss, but I'm not 1000% sure. But I will say that I like the women's bracket a lot. The women's bracket is a bit more jumbled. It's more, you got people in here who you didn't expect, like Cargill and Perez. And then you got 2 former champions in here. So it's a little bit more mixed. It's going to be a little bit more fun. Now, Cargill and Perez's match is supposed to be Friday. Bliss and Asuka will compete on... No, Cargill and Perez's match is on Monday. Bliss and Asuka are going to compete Friday. That's what it is. So I apologize.
Do you think Naomi's going to cost Jade?
I hope not, because she got bigger fish to fry. If I was her, I would stay out of it. And if I were writing it, I would have her stay out of it. I wouldn't have her get involved because she doesn't need to. She already has a ticket to that belt. And even if Cargill somehow wins the tournament and goes up against Tiffany Stratton, she can still cash in and be champion. And she'll still cost Jade everything without having to do double the work.
I just hope she waits till after the match and it doesn't turn into a 3-way because I don't think Paul understands that Naomi is a failed cash-in. The shit that the people at the ECW show when Cena was going up against Van Dam and what they had planned to pull, like that was Philly, man.
The way people need to riot for her, the way they damn near rioted for R-Truth, it need to be the same smoke. But we'll wait and see. I'm curious about the women's bracket and the matches. I think those matches are going to be fired. I really, really do.
Especially,
yeah, and she's been doing really, really great when she comes back. Like, she's awesome. Let's get into NXT. So, the women's eliminator matches began. Jada Parker and Thea Hale kicked off NXT this week. Jada Parker advanced on some controversial shit, okay? She shouldn't have. She should not have advanced, okay? But she did, unfortunately. She tapped to Thea Hale's finisher, or rather her submission. But the ref didn't see her tap, so Thea let go, thinking that the match was over because she tapped. The ref said, I didn't see it. The match continues. Jada hits her with the hypnotic and the match is over. She advances. She shouldn't have, honestly. The Jada Parker has had multiple title shots. She needs to go sit her ass down somewhere. Or go after
I love Jada, but she had no business winning that.
I have to agree.
Same here.
Now, Lash and Kaylani had their match. This actually was one of my favorite matches of the night. It was really good. Lash was able to hit her with her finisher and beat Kaylani. Kaylani pulled out all the stops against Lash, but she was not able to contend with the power that Lash has. She lost. Lash advanced in the tournament. Okay.
Is that render? She looks fucking hot as shit in that render.
Yeah, that's her render.
Damn, girl. Okay. What's up?
Dame and Zaria had a little controversy in their match as well. But it was more on Zaria not keeping her eye on the prize. You see, Tatum came out there to talk to Soul as she was out there on Zaria's behalf. When Zaria saw that, she's got distracted, and this gave Izzy the opportunity to swoop in and get the win. Izzy has advanced in the Eliminator. Zaria lost. She is out. Okay.
So can they get
Last
Zara?
match for the what'd you happen?
No, can my girl get something? Like, damn.
She ain't gonna get it now. She might get it later.
And
Crazy.
Jordan Grace went up against Lola Vice. They had a really hard hitting match. As much shit as I give Lola, I cannot take away from the fact that when the chips really fall and she gets her ass in there with somebody who really is going to put her to the limit, she actually rises to the occasion. And I can respect that. She did. I can give her credit and still not
She's
like
improved
her.
A lot.
Yeah. I can give her credit and still not like her. She did all right. She did very, very well in this match with Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is not an easy person to wrestle amidst her.
She did well in a tag match too in Worlds Collide.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, with Stephanie, yes, she did. In this match, she gave Jordan a good run for her money. She almost got the W, but unfortunately for her, Jordan Grace was able to pick up the win, and she is advancing in the Eliminator. Lola Vice is out. Now, here's where the conversation is going to change a little bit, okay? Because we had a couple matches in between there. Some of them are relevant, others aren't. Trick Williams and First Class AJ Francis and Wes Lee competed against Inamura, Josh Briggs, and Elijah. They all competed, and Inamura, Josh Briggs, and Elijah beat First Class and Trick Williams. Trick Williams is the one who ate the pin, which is fucking nuts. He got pinned by Inamura. Inamura ended up, because he got that pin on Trick, he ended up giving his partner, Josh Briggs, the title shot that he respectfully earned. So Josh Briggs is going to face off against Trick Williams next week in a title match. Prior to the match happening, Josh Briggs and Inamura and them were talking, but we saw that Obafemi came up to them and talked to them for a little bit, and Trick Williams, you know, being his brazen self, saw Oba and addressed him as champ, and Obafemi was like, "Good luck, champ, but my money is on them." And he was like, "Well, you about to be broke." And he basically walked away and told them they was wearing too much leather. But eventually the match happened, and Trick Williams.
Oh, here goes Mercedes lost. Man. No wonder he's so high up on a card.
Who's her man?
Beast Mortos.
Who?
The Beast Mortos.
Oh, good for her? Question mark.
I don't know what he looked like.
He probably looks like Roman. I've seen.
Oh, that's why she said that shit online the other day.
What'd she say now?
It was a retweet from she said something like years ago.
Yeah, where she was like, "Yeah, you guys are right. Roman is hot." It was like 2013, a retweet from 2013.
That means she went back on her Twitter to. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself.
It was a picture of this dude that she's dating, because everybody keeps saying that he looked like Roman Reigns. That was the joke, is that he looked like Roman. Anyways, you had Tatum and Zaria and them was talking, and Tatum was trying to apologize, and you know, Soul was basically trying to tell her, like, we can be friends, you just gotta, you know, chill a little bit. And that's when Izzy came up and was like, they're not your friends. If they were your friends, they would be happy to see you, and they're not. I'm always happy to see you, though. And then she walked away. Tatum kind of ran, you know, because she was hurt. She hurt because she done lost her other friends, and now she's thinking that these two were gonna be her friends, but they just, you know, they were being nice.
The little goblin. It's okay.
So you got that going on, and then you got Ricky Saints. Now, Ricky Saints is set to be cleared next week, and he is going back after Ethan Page for whatever reason. Ethan Page was backstage with Vanity Project. Is that what they call themselves?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Okay, I don't like them. I'm going to be honest. I think they wrestle. Their wrestling is incredible. I like their wrestling, but I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. They remind me so much of a typical bony ass white frat boy with no skill, nothing other than daddy put my college tuition up and I get to do what I want. And that's it. I hate them for that. I hate them. I hate them.
Nice.
I hate them. The leader of Vanity Project is the Evolve champion, and he's back there talking shit to Ricky Saints because they were just really, admiring Ethan Page's work as a North American champion, with him injuring people, which says a lot about you as a human being, fucking assholes. Anyway, Ricky Saints came up and basically was like, I will be cleared next week and I will be seeing you and I'm going to be coming after you. And of course, they were picking at him like, can't quite hear you. You should speak up. That would have been my cue to punch you in your shit. But Ricky Saints got a little bit more conviction than that. All of a sudden, Ashanti the Adonis pops up out of nowhere. And it was like, I did not call for you. Like, please go sit the fuck down. And for whatever reason, he came up and was like, dapping up Vanity Project and Ethan Page and like trying to be on their side. And he gets to talking cash shit and they left. They left his ass in there like most white people do. No shade, Alexis. I'm just saying.
Look, I don't like a lot of white people either, so I don't fucking blame you.
And he was like, he basically was like, it's us against you and you outnumbered. And Ricky Saints was like, you ain't got nobody either, Playboy. But he was like, since you talking shit, I'll see you very soon. And he walked away. So Ricky Saints is set to be cleared next week. He's supposed to show up. Now, here's the interesting part about NXT. Mariah May, aka Blake Monroe, showed up to sign her NXT contract. And she's made it very clear that the NXT women's division now belongs to her. This is going to step on some toes, obviously.
Oh, my baby.
JC Jane and the girls, the Fatal Influence hoes, were not happy. They felt like Ava was giving Blake Monroe a big celebration and didn't give them anything. There is a difference between signing your NXT contract in the ring and having a celebration. If you're mad that you didn't get one, you should have thrown yourself one. That's what Tiffany Stratton's ass did.
And he did.
Was GM at the time, if I recall. No, she wasn't. I think Sean was still GM at that point. But she threw her own party. Like, you could have did the same thing if that's what you wanted to do. This was not a party. This was her signing her contract and giving her time to speak, which they have done this with several NXT talents. So she's not the first and she won't be the last. But that's not the point. JC came out there, thought she was going to strong arm Blake and just go at her neck. And Blake Monroe basically told that whole, she said, oh, JC, honey, you also forgot, and punched that girl in her face. Now, punched her in her face.
I just want to say something. When we have a blonde, statuesque model-like heel, this is the bitch I'm talking about. Like, she's going to get the last word. She's going to do that. And not going to need 3 people to fight her battles for her. So, I love her.
They were fighting. Fallon got involved because JC was holding her face trying to find out where the rest of her nose went. And then that's when the distraction came up and they got the drop on Blake. And Blake ended up getting put through a table. And they were standing over her. They looked like they had just came off the street hooking. and put the girl through a table.
Is she wearing her gear from 2K25? What the fuck, JC?
I don't know, but that's how the show went off, with Blake laying in a pool of decimated table, and they walking away talking about this is my division and you gotta get it. And you know, I just need them to go. I'm tired of them. I need them to go. I'll be right back, Alexis. Y'all hold on for it. I'll be back.
All right. I'm just happy she's at NXT. Cause y'all ain't right. If y'all have not watched any of Mariah May's stuff in AEW, oh my god. Nicole's just happy her baby's there.
I'm so proud of her.
And
Everything's perfect.
I love it. That's JC's shit that she wore back in 2K25. Still rocking that, huh, girl? Okay. Do you think she's gonna get the belt off of JC like right away, Nicole? Or do you think like
No, it's gonna happen soon. She's gonna wind up either in that fatal 4-way and it's gonna be a fatal 5-way, or there's gonna be a winner, and then JC them girls start running their mouth, or no, they come down there, they attack the winner, and then Ava was like, you know what, you're pussy popping a little too much for me. So since you want to beat up her, beat up new people, this is what we're going to do. You're going to defend your title against whoever won that qualifier, and then you're going to add Blake Monroe in it. Now, seeing who's in the match, it's either going to be Lash or Jordan in the match. Now, hear me out. Because you just had Jordan in the last match. We also just saw Jada in another match. So it would make sense to do either one of those two. Yeah, it's going to be one of those two. It's going to be somebody bigger. So it's probably going to be Lash. And then who else is in that fucking match? Someone else stupid as Lash, Jordan. Lash, Jordan.
Jada. And Izzy?
Izzy ain't gonna win. So that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be between Lash and Jordan. It's gonna be one of them. Izzy is there to take the pin.
Yeah.
And Jordan is there to make it legitimate. But obviously she just had the match. So she doesn't need to be involved all the way. Like there's no reason for her to, so she won't be.
So I think I asked you this last episode. So sorry if I'm asking it again. How long do you think Blake is going to be down in NXT before she gets called up? Or do you think she could show up in next year's Royal Rumble and then get a call up? Or do you think she's going to stay there for like 2 years?
Probably, but I would keep her in NXT at least a year. Minimum a year. I keep her in NXT. Minimum. Just so she can have time to work the audience fully, help completely rebuild the division, because the division needs to be rebuilt, and just keep having really good matches, and then like improving on she doesn't need improvement in her mic work, but just finding a way to talk to the audience like she did before.
What are they saying
but
over
for
here?
this type of audience, which she will figure out.
Aaliyah says they don't have a simp like Nigel to give her the entrance she deserves.
Yes, they do. His name is Booker T.
It should be Booker T, but he's not doing a good enough job for me yet. I was like, you got to be extra.
It said, Aaliyah saying, yeah, they took hard hits with Roxanne, Stephanie, and Julia leaving. Roxanne had to leave. She had been down there for how long?
It's been a while.
And
It was
we all
time
knew,
for Roxanne to go.
and we knew Stephanie and Julia were not going to stay there for longer than maybe 6 months.
No.
That
So
was
I'm
still
not-
fast, though.
Yeah. But, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm happy I'm not a fan of her, but I'm glad Roxanne finally came up because I was getting nervous. It's like, girl, you either need to, because her and Cora Jade were kind of there for the same like length of time. And I was getting worried. I'm like, girl, they better call you up or you might get the heave ho.
Roxanne wasn't going nowhere. Low key, I'm very surprised that Cora got cut. I didn't think they were going to cut her. And they really shouldn't have.
No.
But anywhoosies.
Nice.
No,
Sorry.
you're fine.
Soda water.
So?
That's it. Do we have anything else to cover?
Not for the podcast, we don't.
No.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head out. I know you're gonna do your live next. So, oh my God,
What?
I'm looking at this thing on Instagram. I guess Mercedes was attempting to talk, and Tony Storm like did this promo. I'm watching it right now. It's like a pre-tape promo. She's basically doing a "Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego" right now, with the trench coat and it's all black and white. And I hope Juice Robinson knows that I love his wife very, very much.
Oh, I forgot they married.
Yeah.
I just want to know, like,
He's probably funny.
Yeah. It's the funny guys.
No, for real.
I'm not even being funny.
Like,
I'm being
for real. Mm-hmm.
It's guys that'll get you. They'll make you laugh and laugh and laugh. The next thing you know, boom, you're naked, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Alexis is wild.
Oh, what do you think happened with me and my husband? Okay.
Same. Not even gonna lie. Same thing.
It's the funny guys who fucking get you, man. Their charisma's off the charts, and next thing you know, you're marrying them and having a kid and buying a house in the suburbs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need to get off of here too. My phone's about to die.
Yeah. So.
All right, you guys have fun. I'll eventually pop in a comment.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. This is dinner time in my household, so pardon me. But we went over NXT. We went over everything, and I did see Naomi spam calling Bianca. When they finally get the chance to do that story, that's gonna be fun. But y'all, I'm gonna make this live short and sweet. I'm not gonna keep y'all or hold y'all. I am going to go ahead and finish this one out. So let's get into the rest of the show. So usually this is the lifestyle part of the live. So if you're over here, you want to listen to wrestling stuff, you're going to have to wait for the replay. So you can hear all of that. But for now, we're doing lifestyle stuff. And lifestyle usually means SBC chat. Okay. And I want to get this done and get it out the way. And then I will see y'all Friday. But we getting back into the wrestling stuff. All right. So let's get into it. Today I'm going to be doing this one by myself. So bear with me. Okay. Hold on. I'm going to take a quick break. So for those of you who don't want to be a part of the lifestyle part of the live, it is totally fine. I'm going to take a little breaky break and then I shall return with the SBC chat. Okay.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't designed.
All right. Let's get into the story. It says, question number 1. My Puerto Rican boyfriend says he thinks I should be celibate until we get our money right. This sounds weird as hell.
You ate earlier. You're not going to eat. No. Because the grandmother fed you earlier. You're not going to eat everything because you see something else up there you already eaten. Have a seat. Like, not going to give him no. We just told, hey, no.
The only reason why they don't, there's no pepperoni in here.
I understand that, but still, Mom fed them earlier, and no, you just want to eat because he see it.
Let me start over. Okay. Not why he have to be Puerto Rican. Caleb funny. Okay. My Puerto Rican boyfriend says he thinks I should be celibate until we get our money right. I didn't understand what going without sex had to do with our budget, but I agreed. He was shocked and very happy. You want to go celibate tonight? He asked. I said, sure. He left our apartment and came back with 2 old men. Shit went left. English isn't my boyfriend's first language. He didn't mean celibate. He wanted me to sell a bit of ass to pay the bills. Can this relationship be saved or not? I'm trying to forgive, but it's hard. Girl, is you serious? Like, I don't think there's a language barrier. I think your ass wasn't listening. This nigga basically is pimping you out, ma'am. And you're sitting here talking about can this relationship being saved. You are a bottom bitch. You are a hoe, ma'am. What relationship? That man don't love you. Girl, have you lost your mind? I can't believe. Yo, is you serious right now? Is you serious? Oh my God. You cannot be serious. They do. That's why I said it's not him, it's her. She don't listen. Oh my God. Why that remind me of Love Thy Neighbor with Hattie? Child. Because she couldn't hardly speak English either. She said, I hate pimps. If you want money, sell yourself, stupid ass, dumb ass. She is mad. Well, he's selling hers because nobody wants no raggedy ass Puerto Rican dude. This is crazy. That's wild. But why I feel like you low key did it? Like I feel like you did sleep with the man. Like you slept with these men for money. Low key, I feel like you did that shit. Something is telling me in my spirit that you did it. And that's nasty, sis. Well, ain't no man about to pimp me out. That's crazy. Question number 2. Now we'll claim him. When she thought Linda was going to celibate, when she meant celibate, Okay. Question number 2. Girlfriend of 2 years had our baby girl in March. We gained weight together during her pregnancy. So I hit the gym to get my body back. Young gym rat was throwing it at me from day one. I avoided her flirting until one day she said, "Who's taking care of you?" Staring at my member. Wouldn't it be nice to release whenever you want, no strings attached? irresistible little rat. I went to her dusty, basically empty apartment where I released. Several days a week, I visited her and stopped going to the gym altogether. One morning, my baby got sick, and my girlfriend came to the gym looking for me, and I wasn't there. She didn't mention it, but she sewed an air tag into my hoodie. I was leaving the Rat's apartment when my girlfriend's brothers met me in the hallway and jumped me. They pushed me back into the Rat's apartment and threw my clothes with me. Rat looks at me. I'm shocked, bloody mess. And she says, "You can't stay here. I need to protect her, and you can't even fight." I'm couch surfing, but my friends and fam are getting sick of me. I want to go back home. How do I convince my girlfriend to let me come back? Bro, you telling me you was out here sleeping with this girl and you ain't have a pot to piss in? You can't convince me that you didn't know her brothers was on that type of time. You can't convince me of that. But you telling me that you cheated on her even though you didn't really want to, because it didn't sound like you wanted to. It sounded like you let this girl wear you down into sleeping with her, and then you started sleeping with her on the regular. And it's like you had a whole baby, a whole life, a situation you was building with this girl, and ruined it all because this girl asked if you wanted a release. You already got that release when you was with your baby mama. That's how you got this baby. Now you alone, sleeping on people's couches like the homosexual that you are. A mess. Weird and messy. The only thing you can do is call her and try to talk to her. If she don't want nothing to do with you, that's on you, fam. I don't know what to tell you. That's all. Not the sewers. I was trying to be nice. But they basically said your ass ain't shit. My coworker Killer D, he moonlights as a DJ, is a nice man. His Beyonce died suddenly a year ago, and I shot my shot. I bet you she ain't dead. We hung out several times. Each time I initiated, he gets very aroused. I can see it and I can touch it, but he withdraws. The third time this happened, I asked if it was something I did wrong. Nope, he was high, sleeping with his fiance, and she suffered an asthma attack, and he didn't know. She fell over and he went to sleep. The next afternoon, when he woke up, she was cold and contorted in a horrible way, and it still gives him nightmares. He created his alter ego Killer D to handle the trauma. He likes oral and wants to glaze my face. Wow. He likes one-on-one intimacy and wants to show that intimacy and $200 wig installs, but he's not going to have traditional intercourse. He's in therapy, but my patience is wearing thin. But my little nutter buddy, girl, This was not as bad as I thought. But I will say this man has suffered something traumatic. And you not having no patience is wild. Because if it was the other way around, you would expect a man to have patience with you. It's something that obviously has triggered him to the point where he has decided that he now is murdering bitches, which is nothing of the case. She honestly had an asthma attack and he didn't know. Probably could have been thwarted if she would have had her asthma pump nearby, and she would still be here. You wouldn't even be a thought, let alone in a conversation. The problem here is you. You have no respect for the trauma that he has suffered. And then you're sitting here like, I don't know how long I'm going to have to wait. It's either you're willing to wait because you really like him and you potentially want to be in a relationship with him, or you just want to sleep with him and you can't get what you want, so you're being impatient. Either way, I would tell you to either wait it out and let him work out his trauma in his own way. The man saying he will do one aspect of intimacy, but he's not going to do the other. It's up to you what you like. But as long as he returned the favor, you can kind of work this out in your favor. I mean, there are other ways for you to be intimate with him outside of traditional. So you need to, if you really like him, you will find a way to make it work for yourself. Rather than go on this route talking about, I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait. I don't know if I want to wait that long. Well, if that's the case, then you can stop talking to the man right now. You couldn't pay me an unending amount of money to write. This isn't as bad as the first one, honestly. But I mean, this man has suffered a serious traumatic event, and your only concept is you want to have intercourse with him, and that's not fair. You should really be more respectful of what he's going through and either get in where you fit in or move on. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can definitely be like, okay, you got a little baggage, some baggage that I can't handle, and that's fine. Find something else for you to do, or someone else for you to do. And stop trying to wait and beg this man to sleep with you, because it's not happening. Question number 4. I'm 64 years old and back on the strip after serving 14 years for pimping. Well, Kayla don't like him. My original hoes have aged out, moved away, so I started over again with a few legal runaways and ex-addicts. I give them the ground rules. I take care of all expenses, food, clothing, and housing. They work and bring me the money. I take them to the track and monitor their dates for safety, but they don't turn the money over. These new age hoes are getting paid on apps and whatnot and not bringing home a day's pay. I tried to train one to teach the others, but she whooped my ass and dragged me around my 4 locks. Not you got 4 locks. That's crazy. At 63 with 4 locks? Nigga. These new hoes fight back and they're younger and stronger than me. They're using me for food and housing. The game changed, but it's only the only game I know. You need to go into a retirement home. Why don't you pimp yourself out? Obviously the bitch that whooped your ass is the madam. So you need to be out there selling ass and making money if you're gonna be getting your ass whooped. I ain't ever met a pimp that got his ass whooped. That's funny. Got your ass whipped, my boy. Shady Pines is always available. Aaliyah is 1000% right. Hook yourself up with a nice little trip to Shady Pines. Question number 5. I met 24-year-old Mario at the car wash. We were inside while our cars were being detailed. He approached me, asked to use my phone, and put his number in it. Mario is fine. I forgot my own name while speaking with him. We grabbed coffee after getting our cars, and then he told me he wanted to see me for dinner in a few hours. I show up. He treated me to a nice steakhouse dinner, and afterwards we walked on the lakefront. He held my hand while we watched the boats in the distance. Him. Some men know instantly who they want. I'm one of those men. And I don't care what situation you got at home because you're here with me. I hope you break someone's heart tonight so we can write our story. I dumped my boyfriend via text. Bitch, you stupid. Mario took me to the motel and he curled my toes until my feet ached. I didn't realize I was whipped until I found myself sitting in a Harley Davidson dealership co-signing with my $5,000 down payment for his $30,000 motorcycle a few weeks later. Mario never bought me another thing after that steak dinner. I can't afford this man, but I don't want to let him go. Should I tell him I'm too poor to spoil him? Girl, is you serious? You got conned. Can y'all hear me? I hope y'all can hear me still. Girl, you got conned. Okay? Cause what? Okay, good. You got rope-a-dope better than when Muhammad Ali did it to George Foreman. It's like you fell for the oldest shit in the game, though. All this nigga had to do was buy you a steak dinner, hold your hand, and tell you he liked you more than anybody else, and your ass was falling for him at a motel of all things. You was one of the weakest bitches I've ever read about. Like, dead ass. Like, what? A motel, a steak dinner, and holding your hand is all it took, babe. If that's all you require, then girl, you gonna be out here in these streets strung out. You feel me? I have no advice for you because you're not gonna take it. So, good luck and Godspeed. Remember the movie Set It Off? This is question number 6. Y'all remember the movie Set It Off when Jada's character tricks with the nasty old man? I'm in a bind, Nate. That's my situation. My boyfriend lost his job last year and my checks aren't making it. I was in a bind when I agreed to give this disgusting bus driver some play for pay action. Nasty man flirted for months and I gave in because rent was due. He's bald on top, but he has very, very long hair down there. He said, we're going to play poke the bear in the bush. I don't know what I expected, but I did expect a long French braid. I didn't expect a long French braid wrapped around himself. He wants me to unravel the braid with my teeth. I'm in a bind, Nate, and nibble on his short bear. He paid. It was over. But I take his bus to work and he slips me cash. But he also sends me pictures of his bear poking out from a mass of unkept hair. A video of him shampooing his long hair, and it's most disgusting thing ever. I need him, but I hate the hair, the bear, and the visuals. Do I tell him to shave? First of all, that's nasty. That's disgusting. Secondly, he's not gonna shave. He holds the power in this situation. You unfortunately are under the guise of having to deal with what you're dealing with, or actually go out and work. Like, go get a second job. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that sex work is not a job. It is very much a job. The problem I have with this situation is you would rather put yourself in this type of scenario rather than for you to just go get a second job and work to get out. Or your boyfriend need to work and get out. Your tooth came out. Where's the tooth? In the kitchen? Oh my God.
Oh, looks like no money for me.
Did you text your mom and tell him his tooth came out?
I didn't know it was gonna come out.
What's on your face?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I'm out eating cake again.
Where you get cake from? That coconut cake?
Yeah, he's eating sour cream.
Definitely sour cream.
What was you eating it with? First of all, that's gross. You just sitting in the house eating sour cream. Please stop being gross.
I didn't know if my tooth was gonna come out today.
I don't want to hear nothing about your tooth. Okay?
Why?
Let me see. Open your mouth. It stopped bleeding.
I had him rinse his mouth out with some warm, salty water.
Well, look at you, big brother Kev. His tooth gone, baby. If your tooth is inside the sink, which side you drop it in? The garbage disposal side?
Yep, garbage disposal side.
That tooth gone, baby. Well, his tooth came out. Take a picture of your brother with his mouth open, send it to your mom and say, Mom, his tooth came out, but I dropped it down the kitchen sink. Yeah, you need to tell her what you did. Don't look at me like that. Child, listen. Have kids, they say. It'll be fun, they say. I want to be the rich auntie. And I love my nephews to death. And I do anything for them, but I ain't having no children. They my only kids. I just want to be a rich auntie. That's it. That's it. That's not even a bush. It's a national park. If it's braided, that's gross. Ain't enough money in the world. Apparently it is, honey. Well, that is your SBC chat. I don't know. Friday, I might chit chat with y'all a little bit longer. We might sit and have a little conversation. If y'all have some questions or anything you have for me, please don't hesitate to talk to me. Okay, please don't. Okay, I don't have no problem talking with y'all. Y'all know that. And I got some new merch coming out very soon. I got a new t-shirt design that I thought was so cute. I did a couple mock-ups. I put it in my channel on Instagram, and y'all really liked them. And I'm getting ready to finalize the mock-up for those shirts and see if I can get them up on the website. Please support. I still got down for the counts banners up. Please support and follow me on my socials. You guys can go to Fourth Wall and purchase all of my merch. It should be attached to this video somewhere in the live, below the description or above it. You should be able to search for certain t-shirts, but you can go to my actual Fourth Wall website and purchase directly from there, and that's where you'll see all the t-shirt iterations and everything. Okay, it's going to be a fun time. All right, I'm going to rework my all you had to do was leave merchandise as well, because I really want them to reflect me a little bit more. But y'all, stick with me. We got some more content coming. Next week, I'm going to be doing R-Truth's analysis, and I'm going to give you a full breakdown of R-Truth's career from what I could find on the internet and where I think R-Truth is going to be headed soon. And I'm going to finish up reading Becky's book and finish doing the breakdown and analysis of that. And of course, as always, you guys are going to get your content, your 3 lives a week, like we always do, until Friday is when you guys will see me again, and we'll be having a conversation about the tournament. Now, the tournament is going to end at Night of Champions, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Night of Champions is next week, Saturday, June 28th, and it is at 1 p.m. All right, do not forget. This coming Friday, John Cena is going to be facing off against R-Truth. I hope R-Truth wins, because John Cena needs to get his ass kicked. And then, of course, we're going to have the continuation of the tournament, you're going to have Roxanne Perez facing off against you're going to have Asuka facing off against Bliss, and then you'll have Randy Orton facing off against Sami Zayn. So hopefully we'll see some finals and everything will be solidified. We already know that Gunther's going to face off against Goldberg at Saturday Night Main Event, which is during the time of Evolution. And this coming Monday, Becky Lynch will face off against Bayley for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But I don't think it's going to go as smooth as it should. I think that Lyra's going to get involved, and this is going to somehow turn into a massive triple threat. With that being said, I will see you guys on Friday. We'll talk more wrestling, and I'm going to show you guys the final mock-up or the final merch that's going to be launching on the website. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.